Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of the Webcast podcast with me, Paul McGhie, and today I'm joined by Samantha Redford.
Hello.
Hey Sam, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
Good, very good. We're going to be watching... Yeah, good, very good, that's right. Top... I always sound like a fucking DJ, how does that happen? Right. So today we're doing the commentary of Green Room.
Yeah.
Which we watched a little while ago. It's
Couple of
almost
weeks
like
ago.
almost like a midnight movie, and I think this is one of those midnight movies. Like it works best late at night type scenario type thing.
Definitely. It definitely does.
Your face was like, yeah, I don't know, maybe.
Mate, I think I just get too nervous. You know, with the whole chasing thing.
It's quite tense, but we really enjoyed it, which is why we're going to do a
it was a great
commentary on
film.
it. Even though it's had some kind of like mixed reviews. No, I thought it was really cool. Yeah, it has. Yeah, but we'll talk about that whilst we watch the movie. So if you're listening and you want to watch the movie with us, we've got it up now. So I'm going to press play. Let's see if we can synchronize this really on one. Okay.
Have you done it or have you not done it?
No. I was going to do a countdown. 3, 2, 1. That wasn't it. That wasn't the countdown. Right. Here we go. That was me instigating what the countdown's going to be. Right. Here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1. There we go. So I got the tiger. Oh no, it's the MGM logo.
Mine did not come with an MGM logo. It just went straight to the tiger.
No, the tiger's going to turn into MGM logo. Pitch House Entertainment.
Yeah.
You seeing that?
Yeah, I've got
there
that.
we go.
Okay,
all
so
right.
pretty much.
We're on. Okay, so as we were saying, we watched this a couple of weeks ago. Kind of after all being out and getting drunk all day. And
it was a good day.
Really enjoyed it. Yeah. So it made sense to do a commentary of it. Where are we at? We're still going through all the people that made this movie.
Film science.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of people nowadays to make a film, doesn't it?
It does. Particularly like an independent film, I suppose, because you need to throw a decent sized amount of money at it. I think this cost like 5 million quid. So
that's not too bad though, really.
There's Anton Yelchin lying in the car with his arm on show. I thought that was quite significant when I watched this again the other day.
Yeah,
like
it is
the first
actually.
shot
I hadn't
is
noticed that.
him sleeping on his arm. That's a good shot as well in the wheat field of the car.
Yeah.
And this is Green Room is by Jeremy Saunier, I think that's how you say his name. Who also made his debut film was Blue Ruin, which oddly also starts with a character asleep in a car in the early morning. So I wonder if he did that on purpose. Sometimes I think I look too deeply at these things. It may have just been a coincidence, but yeah, it's nice. That one was one person. This one is a whole bunch of people.
I think that's the thing though, isn't it? When it's one person, it's more kind of like plausible. The only issue I have with this particular scene is that it feels like it's a setup for something more significant. I suppose it's just quite unbelievable that everyone fell asleep and drove into a cornfield and no one seemed to notice until the next day.
Or that the car didn't turn over entirely. I like the whole like opening shot is almost like the film begins with them having somehow miraculously escaped serious injury or death.
Yeah.
Which is kind of foreboding, really, for at least one of the characters. We can do spoilers. I don't imagine anyone's watching this having not watched it already.
No,
so here
can
they
you
are,
imagine?
Stealing some petrol.
Good old stealing petrol.
I've never had to do this, but like I've seen it done, and like you have to suck. I think So he's sucking up the petrol with one tube. I don't know how science works.
No, I don't know how science works.
It'd be like a giant straw, but I feel like you'd be really knackered trying to suck something with a straw that fucking huge. I don't know. That sounded really wrong.
Yeah, that did sound very wrong, Paul. Yeah.
It's not science. That's biology right there. That's a different branch of science.
That's called locking and unlocking a drawer.
Oh, I hope Mike picked that up.
I think it did, hopefully.
So here they are in their car. This reminded me, there's something a little bit Texas Chainsaw Massacre about this little bit here.
Yeah,
Again,
or Harry Potter.
Or Harry Potter. Where does that remind you of Harry Potter?
Well, you know, every single time I see any aerial shot of a car or a train going down like a road in the countryside, it just reminds me of Harry Potter, the train. The Hogwarts Express or whatever it's called, going to Hogwarts.
Yeah, I get it. This is like the marvel of drone cameras, though, is that you get loads more of those aerial shots than you used to. Like those ones that look like they're almost... The Earth is 2D below, as it were. Complete overhead. All right, so now they're in what looks like... Looks like San Francisco, though. I don't think it is. No, because it's supposed to be on the East Coast. I read that somewhere. So this is Punk Airbnb right here.
Punk Airbnb?
Yeah, because they're staying at some...
Punk Airbnb. Sorry, I don't know why, but I just did not get that at all.
All right, okay, so I remember this bit being kind of very talky, so we'll ignore it for a second.
Yeah,
I'm gonna run through one of the facts that I found through IMDb.
Okay.
So IMDb has this kind of whole thing where if you're looking at a film, I think, what do they call them? Do they just call them like funny facts or fun facts or something like that? And it's goofs. That's it. It's goofs, right? So, and these are a little bit kind of anal, I think, in general. Okay, so this is the goof that comes up at this point. It's entitled "Errors in Geography." Okay, so someone has made the point to put that the movie takes place on the East Coast, but the locale looks like the West Coast. When they show a volcano, Mount Hood in Oregon, in the background, you know they are not on the East Coast. Well, I'd fucking turn the film off immediately because it's clearly
it's just
it's broken the fourth wall for me.
riddled with errors. That screamed it for me. I can't believe it. I don't believe it's real anymore.
That mountain really broke the fourth wall. Damn it. So here they are being interviewed. Oh, this is a long running thing through the film where they start talking about their desert island discs or their desert island band, the band they would take. I gotta say as well, so I watched this again the other day just to make some notes for this podcast, and it works so much better when you've got the subtitles on with this film. Like a lot of the criticism that I looked at online was to people saying, I didn't really get what happened there or why that happened or this, that and the other. And I think a lot of it is explained when you hear the talking, because it's a bit... I think the term that's being used a lot is mumblecore.
I think
when a film is basically a mumble fest.
I think it's a funny one, isn't it? Because realistically, in a real world, you do expect that's the sort of conversation. They are all very naturalistic in terms of their acting styles. I don't disbelieve any of the characters. None of them are particularly over the top. And I suppose in everyday life people do mumble. But then again, I think they I want to say the producers, the directors obviously need to make a mixture of when something's believable and when you can hear it. Because if it's going to be plot line, then an audience needs to know what the hell's going on. Because I think that was the issue for me. There was quite a lot of the sound that I couldn't hear at all.
Yeah, it's a very quiet movie.
But then really loud sometimes as well. You spent the entire time like, remote, turn it up. No, turn it down.
That was just because it was like 2 a.m. and Betty had gone to bed and was above us. And I was like, oh shit, it's got too loud, turn it down. I'll turn it up again, I can't hear what the fuck's going on. Well, that's all right. That's typical of a film that should work out its audio, I suppose. But it works a lot better with the subtitles on, and you get a lot more out of what is going on. It's a very talky film, even though there is action. A lot of the kind of stuff that goes on in terms of keeping them in the club is very talky, but we'll get to that as it happens, I suppose.
Yeah.
So here's the part where they're being told that they've been shafted for a gig, and now they have to play in what looks like fucking Little Chef or something like that.
It does look like a Little Chef, like a really run-down Little Chef. Bless them, they're trying.
But that I think for a band, it's a real good portrayal of like what bands have to go through, and also how shit it can be. The fact they're making no money. This one dude standing there with a phone. I bet that happens in every fucking gig, even this small. There's always the one person. I'm just gonna record this with my phone. This made me laugh. This whole oh yeah, you can have my money and all that, and it's like there's $6 each, which is ridiculous. I remember when I used to put on bands for a night. This works the other way as well, because as a promoter, it's good if the bands can bring people as well, because I mean you're doing the promoting, but it's like if they bring people and the other band brings people, if you've got 4 bands that all bring people, then you're gonna have like a packed out place.
Yeah.
Right. So I used to incentivize bands by saying, look, here's your fee, but for everyone else you bring, I'll give you half of the door money for those people. Right. I remember doing one where these people brought one person. It was like, so, and I made the point at the end going, so here's your flat fee and here's your £1. Thanks, fuckers. So yeah.
They do that sort of now, don't they? I've got a few friends that are musicians, and there's quite a lot of venues in London. I think the majority of them now, where you have to buy tickets.
Oh, that's
and
such
then
a big
you
con.
sell them. It is a massive con.
Yeah, a friend of mine had the same problem. Go on, sorry.
All the big venues do it now. Like there doesn't seem to be. I think unless you're a band with a massive, either a massive following immediately, or you've just got loads of money just from a wealthy background, and there's no way you can actually play anywhere. It's a shame, because I mean there's a lot of people that are incredibly talented and that might never be seen.
It's true. Yeah, I remember at the garage in Islington in London, my friend Paul, his band used to play, and whenever they got like the big main hall downstairs, it was through a company that were like, you've got to buy 100 tickets and then resell them. So what the promoter was doing was basically covering his ass for all costs and probably making some on top of that. And it's like, I think there's got to be like a midway point between that. Like, I know the promoter can't cover everything, but it should be like a joint thing. I mean, they are supposed to be promoting the gig after all.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the thing, isn't it? It's like, what's his job? What's the promoter's job at all? If you're doing the promoting and you're paying the money out, then and you're basically managing everything. Yeah. Then what is the point of this job? This guy's job is just basically taking money. Can you imagine if that's what Elton John had to do when he first started out? Elton, I'm sorry, mate. You've got to sell. You've got to buy 200 tickets for yourself, and you've got to sell them. Can you imagine flogging them down like Portobello Market?
Isn't that technically what Robbie Williams did at Christmas when his management company bought the tickets for his tour and then resold them on the reseller website? And apparently it's not illegal, but it's a fucking sting. Like,
what a dick move.
Yeah, a real dick move. Yeah.
I mean, he did bring out an album called Swings Both Ways. So, I mean, they had to make money back somehow, didn't they?
He's still trying to dig himself out of that money pit.
What a bad title. The person who did that didn't like Robbie or thought it was hilarious, and then obviously all that the producers were like, that looks really good. I like that. That title really embodies, where the direction we're going with Robbie. Yeah. With the swing and the different ways album. He's going.
Yeah. Hey Robbie, it's a swing album. How many swing? Oh, it's like the guys in the marketing department. I want 50 swing puns, 50 of them by Monday, and the best one's the album title.
Oh, I bet the guy that made that title up, if no one realised, was literally stood there like, just like really snickering, just going, I'm just going to see how far I can take this.
Maybe he just hated his job and said it really sarcastically. Like,
oh God, can you imagine?
He knew he was handing his notice in on Friday. He's like, what about swings? What about swings both ways? Because everyone everyone already suspects things about Robbie because he's a singer, and and that's about it really. That's all they've got to go on. It swings both ways. I think that would be the best title.
It's literally so funny.
All right, so I've just noticed that they've spelt the band's name wrong. So the band is actually called The Ain't Rights, and they've called them The Aren't Rights. Ain't Rights is a really good title for a band, really good name for a band. Like, it's the hardest thing in the world. I wonder how long Jeremy Saunier, when he was writing this, had to come up with a decent band title, because that's a fucker trying to think of a band title.
I think as well, it sounds like a really weird one, but if the band title wasn't right and the band were terrible, I don't think you'd actually, as an audience, like the characters as much. I know that sounds really...
Yeah.
Obviously, you like them in the end anyway, and you kind of forget that they're a part of a band, but obviously they're a band for quite a huge part of the film.
They need to have a cool name for you to get on side, for sure. Yeah, I get that. It just reminded me, though, of like... I don't think NME do this anymore because they're not really that kind of publication, but they used to have gig listings in the back of the NME, and it was one of my favourite things was to go through it with a couple of my mates, and we would look at the worst band names on the bill that week, and some were amazing. Although the only two I can think of right now, well, I was like, what names could I remember from back in the day? Guitar Fucker was one of them. I thought was terrible. But the one that stuck out most for us was Dog Bonfire.
What?
So what a name for a band. We are Dog Bonfire. Good night.
Is that
Hello,
like...
Brixton. We are Dog Bonfire.
Is that like putting dogs on a bonfire? Or is that a dog lighting a bonfire?
Oh, interesting. You could be two kinds of bands. You could be like a proper metal band, Dog Bonfire, or you could be a twee band that talk about dogs having bonfires. It works either way. Oh, I like this bit of the film. This whole sequence here where they're playing...
I didn't notice you saw Imogen Poots there. Sorry.
Yeah, look, and that's the girl that dies. But look, see this whole trade-off that's occurring here. There's a really good story being told just through like one sequence of them swapping shit over, that guy watching what's going on, and old Anton, whose name in this is Pat, watching what was going on.
Shit, I didn't even realise that. Then that gives them motive to be upstairs. That's the whole subplot of the film being sewn in. I missed that. Yeah, no, this is what I'm saying. The second time I watched it, I was like, yeah. And I like the fact they just decided really stupidly to play Nazi punks fuck off in front of a whole bunch of Nazi punks. They're good for it though. I mean, they've got the balls to stand there in front of a whole bunch of weird far right or far left, as the person described it earlier. Like, I like how that as well, it's almost like we don't really know what the political view is going on here. It's just, it's very, we do our own thing and we're white and that's about it. And this sequence, I love this sequence because they were talking about earlier, like the energy shared between a band and an audience through music. And it's really well shot here with the slow-mo and the band getting into it and the crowd getting into it. I think, I wonder if Jeremy Saulner was ever in a band or... Maybe, yeah.
Clearly experienced this kind of small gig environment because it can be like that. And I love the fact this film is only like 15 minutes in, but everything that needs to be said about the band and the music and why they do what they do, it's just all done. It's 15 minutes in, you know who this band are and why they do what they do.
The thing that I particularly like about that as well, I mean, punk music is pretty like crazy, to say the least. To have sort of a moment, of that sort of euphoric moment, they obviously really, really thought about that.
Yeah, no,
really thought about it.
It really kind of like adds a layer to why this band, because it's shit pay. They're on the road. They're stealing petrol and all this shit. It's not a good way to live. But it's like that's why they do it. And
it gives them a reason, which is one of the things I actually like about this is there's always oh no,
knife in the head.
The catalyst.
There we go. The lock-in, ladies and gentlemen. The lock-in. It's happened. That guy's massive.
Oh, you're not going to get away, mate, but nice try.
No. Yeah, the phone thing was like... I don't know. Was that a good idea? Maybe
No.
he should have he should have just been like, it's cool, I didn't see shit.
Yeah, I think you'd have to do it. But then again, you see his character in the beginning. He's a bit of kind of like a nervous wreck anyway. He feels like he's the leader, he's the brains, but in reality, he's quite.
He's nervous.
You know,
The rest of them are a bit ballsy, and he's nervous. And here we go. So he's going over to the office. This is where things start to become a little dangerous, because he's coming out with that fucking massive gun. That 5-cylinder fucking looks like something a cop would pull out of the 80s.
Is that mobile hut thing that I find really bizarre?
Why is that?
Because it's never really explained.
No, it is. Well, it's explained in the sense that it's an office, and it's an office away from the club, so it's quiet. And that becomes apparent later. I didn't realise.
Yeah, but why does that matter though? Why do they have to keep locking it? Like, I don't.
Oh,
it's just a very really weird thing, like where they focus so much on them locking the door, well, and I just can't seem to get away from that.
I think that's the regimentation of what's going on, which you see a lot more of in a minute as well. Like why they do the things they do, because what we missed there is like even when they come in, like the guy who's delivering them to the band, it's like, oh, you know, band, drummer, you playing with the house kit or you playing with your kit? Okay, you know, things this way. Don't leave anything in the corridor because it's a fire hazard and the owner hates that shit. And then like all their stuff is already in the corridor when they come back, and there's a line about like, oh, I thought this was a fire hazard, and we know like the real fire hazard is the fucking dead body that's now in the green room. But everything is like, you know, it's seriously disciplined, as it were. Everyone just relax, the cops are coming. Did we just miss the line? He says a really funny line there about like, hey man, you're keeping us prisoner, and he's like, I'm not keeping you prisoner, you're just staying here a while. It's like, I think it's the same thing, to be honest.
Do you mind if I'm just going to quickly close the door because there's a light and it's really going in my eyes. Hang on.
Yeah, no problem. I hear more regimentation with the I'm just going to keep on talking.
Oh, there he is, counting his money.
There he is. Yeah, I love that bit too. And this is more about like how they see things. So he's gone in there to say to the guy in the office, like, I need $600. He's like, I just gave you $350. He's like, yeah, we've got a dead body. And he's like, well, I still got to balance the books.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it tells you about the kind of place they're in.
It's really funny actually, because looking at oh my god, I've completely forgotten his name. What's his name?
Oh shit, there goes the knife. Oh man, this guy is brutal. This guy does not give a fuck. Jesus.
But this is the thing, is that I think the followers are Nazis, but the kind of main baddies.
Yeah.
The main baddies.
The man bad, yeah.
I think they're just kind of maybe psychopaths. Like, as in they're in it for the money, and they have this regiment. And the reason that they're out in the middle of nowhere is that they can be in charge, whereas in the real world, in like a city or a town, there are laws and rules in place. Whereas out in the middle of nowhere in the woods, they can carry on business, they can make a fuckload of money, and actually not really do anything.
Well, that's the ideology behind it, isn't it? That's why so much of America is all about kind of either conservatism or libertarianism. It's that kind of, you know, we don't want big government ruling over us because we want to control our own shit. We want to do what we want to do, and handle it our way. And that's what's going on here. Like, you see the whole thing is entirely regimented, but as we later discover, when they find the heroin in the secret room, none of this is about ideology.
Oh no,
none of this is about neo-Nazism. Really, that's all just a kind of a wall and a kind of a discipline, a method of making a shit ton of money through drugs. So
it's about getting those people, isn't it, following. If they kind of make it into sort of an army regimented thing, they can get more people following. Because if you just have like drugs, people just want to get involved with the money.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know if he's sharing the money with very many people. Here he comes, Patrick Stewart.
Oh, that was it, Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
Oh, he's good. But you know
his
what?
Name
actually,
this is Darcy, but I think I just want to refer to him as Patrick Stewart because he is.
No, he's so
the
Patrick Stewart, isn't it? And he's such a good
Jean-Luc
actor.
Picard. Yeah.
I just love him.
Professor X. My God, so many roles.
I don't. You know what? I don't. You know, if he was one of the people in, well, obviously, if he was in the band, I wouldn't believe he was in the band. But
Patrick Stewart.
Reasons.
That would be
But
even better.
He was, yeah, imagine a
Just
gang
a
of
singer.
youths. It's like, oh, Patrick Stewart. But if he was on the other side of it, say it was a different film, and he was one of the people, you know, being hunted, or he was one of the victims, I guess, I wouldn't believe it, because he's so famous. But I totally believe him being believe him being the kind of mastermind.
Yeah.
And he is very well cast as being a mastermind anyway. But yeah, I don't think I could believe him as being, you know, victim. Also, I think
I'd have a hard time thinking him as the lead singer of the band.
yeah.
Although I would watch that movie.
I would certainly watch that movie.
Patrick Stewart and the Punks on tour would be. It's like Josie and the Pussycats. It's Patrick Stewart and the Pussycats. Would be an awesome movie to watch.
It really
Oh,
would.
things are getting nasty now. The gun's out. Oh, this is it. Yeah. Okay. This guy is full of kind of like fucking Clint Eastwood lines.
Yeah. He's a great
really
character, isn't he? And he's so
Yeah.
unassuming. Like, he just looks like,
He's just.
I don't know, he's just so sort of
I don't know if it's unassuming,
averagely American guy.
but physically he's like, Jesus Christ, you don't want to fuck with this guy.
No.
And he's like, this gun's only got 5 bullets because the cartridges are so fucking big.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a big fucking gun. Sit the fuck down. So here it begins. Like, look, and it's all the details, and they're already calculating shit. He's like, you called, and he's trying to work out who knows stuff. It's almost like, no, actually, he reminds me of a few characters. Now I think about it, he reminds me a little bit of Winston Wolfe from Pulp Fiction, the Harvey Keitel character, in that he knows how to clean up something. So you check emails, see where they're going, who else knows about this, blah, 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 blah.
You know what, though? I actually don't think he does. Because, you know, in reality, the way that he's actually answering everything, it seems like he's pretending to know what to do. Like, he's ran through the scenario in his head quite a few times. But actually, it's really escalated, because the way that they've actually reacted to it is not in a very quick way of being like, okay, shoot him, let's get rid of them. It's like, it's very calculated. They're like, lock him in the room, and then we'll figure it out.
Well, well, but that's because I think you've got that Gabe character, who's the guy talking to Patrick Stewart now, and you know, Gabe has obviously tried to contain this, as it were. But that conversation they just had was great, because he's basically bringing Patrick Stewart up to speed on what's happened. And you know, he said the whole thing was pretty rapid fire. It happened too quickly for him to do anything. And he said, you know, contain. And Patrick Stewart turns to him and is like, contain. He's like, this is a fucking shitstorm. And he's like, we all love Worm, who's the guy who did the murder. He goes, it probably would have been better if you just fucking visited him in prison. Had the murder just happened and they called the cops and Worm had been arrested, then Patrick Stewart would have been fucking fine with that. But now they're in a situation where they've held the band for a certain amount of time, so now his whole business is in fucking trouble because of they didn't really know how to contain the thing properly. But
which makes me think that it hasn't happened before, and it's not, because I mean the way that Patrick Stewart acts and the way that everyone kind of goes to him for advice makes it seem like they expect Patrick Stewart to be this kind of all-seeing, all-knowing guy that's done this a million times before and know exactly what to do and everything's great. But in reality, when you see the way that he's acting, it's like he's pretending to know what's going on. But in reality, he's kind of like, he knows the logistics of what he should do, but hasn't done it before.
Yeah,
so
no,
I don't know how it's going to play out.
I think he's proactively responding to the situation as it unfolds, or as it has unfolded. They intimate later on that, like, you know, this is not the first time there's been any murder around here, but I imagine it's not usually witnessed by anyone outside of the community. That's the issue here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now they're having the whole back and forth about what to do. I think this is played out really well in a really realistic way as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he just goes for him. I love that. He just goes to bite his fucking shoulder. I love that. And then this dude's like a fucking... I did wrestling in school, clearly, because he's the one who was aggro-y to the journalist before as well. Now he's going with a fucking leg, like an arm lock as well. He did well to take him down. That guy's like twice the size of both of them. It's like, when in doubt, run at the guy and bite him in the shoulder.
I'll remember that. I just love
it.
Imogen Poots. I absolutely love her.
I didn't even realise it was Imogen Poots.
No, I didn't.
Until way late into it.
But in this film, she's just sick. Like, she just is.
She's British, isn't she, as well, Imogen Poots?
I think she is, yeah.
I think I say that because I remember seeing her in 28 Weeks Later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeremy Renner was also in that. That was one of his first roles. Or first kind of big things. Here we go. So now the negotiation begins. Oh shit. You can tell, like, the thing is as well, you can tell they're all really fearful of Darcy, Patrick Stewart. Like they just, even like physically, like they're all kind of hunched, all their shoulders are up, it's tense.
Yeah, it's so weird as well, because it's like a school teacher, and it's almost like the leader of a pack of dogs.
That's a good, yeah.
That's what it reminds me of. Like,
which
he's
worse,
like
I suppose, because
the head wolf thing.
Yeah.
That didn't really make any sense to me.
he's the head wolf in a pack of dogs. It's the only wolf in a pack of dogs.
Yeah, we'll go for that.
No, he's I think he plays it. I think he plays it spot on. This is the thing, I think, as well, like, people criticising the film, and I saw one criticism which was, Patrick Stewart, he never gets angry and shit. It's like, he's not trying to play it angry, he's trying to play the whole thing. Like, he never raises his voice.
Yeah, but he doesn't need to. Why would he raise his voice?
But he's calculated.
Everyone
he's
is
clinical.
like, yeah, that's way more scary than someone just shouting.
Yeah, you don't run a secret fucking heroin business with a front of a far right unit without learning a thing or two.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on here. Oh, this is good too. So he's now talking about the dogs. So he's already got the idea with the petrol can. Okay, they got on your land, they tried to siphon petrol, and they're going to get attacked by dogs. And then the guy's talking about, look, he doesn't want to use any of his studs or his champs because they're 20 grand a dog. But then there's a great line here, because he's like, you may lose your livelihood today. He's like, honestly, you may lose all your dogs. He goes, but as long as I keep mine, you'll be well compensated. I just like that line. I think he's got the art of diplomacy down to a T. They are like up against. It's like, it's a very mastermind character, and actually, the more I watch it, the more clinical he is.
Yeah, and
do you know what it reminds me of Walter White.
That's literally what I was just about to say. Heisenberg. Yes. Like, as well, I think in reality, I keep saying in reality, don't I? I just keep going back to this same phrase. Patrick Stewart's character, he's very, very clinical throughout the entire film, but this is a film and not a series. So where you would see Bryan Cranston's character develop into Heisenberg and become this very clinical character when he's in that scenario in front of people, in front of his peers and the people he's doing deals with, he's incredibly clinical. It's only when bad shit happens to him that he then turns. But you can go through like a couple of episodes of him not getting angry and not shouting. That's an entire film. So realistically, Patrick Stewart is completely believable because he is in that situation where he needs to be clinical. He wouldn't be shouting because then it'd mean he's lost his shit.
It reminds me he's the full Heisenberg, isn't he?
Yeah.
It reminds me of that whole sequence when Heisenberg has arranged for like how many people? Like 13 people in prison to all die in the same 3-minute time period. It's that clinical moment, and all he's doing is washing the fucking dishes. While that's all going on, and one guy gets like set on fire, and another guy gets stabbed like 50 times. It's really gory shit all the while he's doing the dishes. And although this is obviously Patrick Stewart's getting his hands a little bit dirtier than that, he's making sure like he's got his minions to do all of his bidding for him. I think all the work.
It's funny as well though, because if you actually compare both those characters, you've got Walter White's character is a family man. He's got a lot more to lose, but he's also very humanized from the beginning. Which makes you like that character. Whereas because this is such a short period of time, and they need you to like a lot of people in such a short space of time in Green Room, they haven't really got enough time to actually go into Patrick Stewart's character at all.
No,
he has to be this clinical person, and you
don't
actually know who he is. Doesn't seem to have any family. This seems to be his entirety of his life, which is fine.
Well, yeah, I suppose that's the skill to good screenwriting in terms of a film. If you can lay that, that the beauty is he's trying to lay out a character and lay out an entire story in an hour and a half as succinctly as possible.
Yeah.
Whereas, although the trend nowadays is for us to get more layered chapter stuff from TV, where most of the good stuff is actually happening. But no, it's a pretty decent depiction of like you've stumbled into this fucking hive of, to quote Star Wars, scum and villainy, and like, you're fucking with a far right Jabba the Hutt. So what are you gonna do about it? Really? Oh yeah, the lights go out. Oh, I love this bit. I love this. This is Imogen Poots lighting the cigarette in the dark.
Yeah.
Careful now.
And this is where you actually know
really
that she's
well
bad as fuck.
Yeah, actually, that's something to...
This was the moment where I was just like, she's going to survive. That was that pinnacle moment for me personally. Because when you see her originally, she's in bits, she's crying because her mate's died. She's this character that you've only seen once in passing, that I didn't even notice that exchange was happening until you brought it to my attention the second time watching it. So this is the first time that you actually see her character, the other side of her character, where she's like, I'm just about to fuck shit up. I'm going to go crazy. Yeah. I'm actually pretty dangerous. I'm sort of a force to be reckoned with.
She's composed herself at this point. And I like that. That's a really smart move with the cigarette, because like they're in the dark and they don't want that Justin guy jumping out of the seat. So she gives him the fag, and it's like the cigarette, I should say. And British term that. And she says, if you see the cherry do something you don't like, shoot. Yeah, I like that.
Why did the lights go off though? Do we know? Is that just
to get rid of the crowd?
Oh, okay. To say that there's been a power cut.
Yeah. So he can.
I hadn't put two and two together previously. I thought they were just doing it to mess with the characters, and actually that's quite interesting because normally that is the case. When you have it in other films and the power gets cut or the phone lines are cut, it's usually to do with the victims.
Yeah, but this is all part of the manipulation. Yeah. He's got that list now of people that he will trust to do something. And here's the subplot picking up again with this guy trying to call his girlfriend, but her phone's been taken to the office because she's dead.
I didn't even realise that was something I didn't know at all. Actually, that was something that really confused me. So that was the girl with a knife in her head.
Yeah, the girl with the knife in the head was going to run away with the red jacket guy.
Oh, right, okay.
And that's why she's been killed, because her current boyfriend, the giant guy called Worm, wasn't having it, so he stabbed her in the head and killed her. Now, this guy outside, I think his name is Matthew, I could be wrong, Redcoat we'll call him. He doesn't know she's dead at this point. He's trying to call her and can't get through to her. He knows something's up, but he doesn't know what it is. And now they're taking his new car, which he was going to run away with a girl for, and they're letting the band take it away. Now hear more cunningness. He gives heroin to Gabe to give to the band, tell them the party is on us if they hold up for a couple of days, right? And then Gabe has looked at the heroin and he's seen that it's got
blood on it.
No, not blood. It's got like a sticker on it that marks out that the heroin isn't. It's like from some other gang, some black gang somewhere else in town.
Oh, right. Okay.
And the reason Patrick Stewart says that is he goes, it's smart to make it look. Well, he says it in a racist way, but he's like, it's better to have their symbol on it so it doesn't come back to us. So he's always, everything is calculated. But I think this is the issue that people have, is that a lot of that is explained through slightly mumbled dialogue.
Yeah.
So it's hard to know what's going on. I think it's worth watching this film. Anyone who's only seen it once, it's worth watching again because there's loads you pick up on the second time round. And maybe that's a failing of the film not to do it the first time, but maybe it's you can enjoy the film by watching it again.
It's not.
Here we go. Look at this. Look, he's already divided them. This is the whole bit where Patrick Stewart basically talks them into giving up the gun. This scene.
So this is actually one of the moments that, you know, as an audience member, you start screaming at the TV, being like, "What are you doing, you idiot?" I mean, I was, but obviously I know that it's a horror film, and they don't. I still think it's stupid though. That's your only leverage. If they've got loads of guns outside, and you've got one gun between 6 of you, you don't give up your gun. You go, "I've got leverage here," because it's still got that guy in there that it'll, you know, kill him very easily.
Justin's still alive at this point, isn't he?
Yeah.
They haven't bumped him off yet.
Yeah, which is what I don't really understand, because it's the only way they can keep him at bay. He's massive.
Doesn't he just break through? It's going to happen in a second anyway, I know that.
But he just...
it all happens at the same time. That's it. I realised the second time watching this.
Yeah.
Everything happens at once, which is cool because it's really gripping.
Yeah.
But if you listen to what Patrick Stewart is saying to them...
He's so manipulative, isn't he?
Yeah.
And you can just see at this point why he is in the position that he's in. Because he's just so good at talking and he's so good at convincing someone, and he's just...
They should put Patrick Stewart up as like the representative for Brexit, because man, he'd get us a good deal. Like,
yeah, he would.
He manages to talk 5 people out of giving up a gun from behind a locked door. Like, it's pretty good stuff. But he makes it seem so reasonable. It's like,
yeah, he does.
Look, you're an out-of-town band. One of my people is injured in that room, and you've got a loaded, stolen gun. He's like, you know, am I within my right to come in and shoot you? I believe by law I am. It's like earlier as well. Did you notice the bit where Gabe got those 2 twins and he paid one of them to stab the other one?
Yeah, and then took the money.
That's purely because they called the police. So they needed something to tie up with that.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know, he knew where to stab him, and he's like, and then he tells him that blade is 2 inches too short for you to be convicted of like GBH or whatever it is. So he's like, you'll be fine. You're underage, and the knife is too small for you to be able to get charged with anything. So they know all these things. It's a really good representation of. It's a really good kind of force of who the bad guys are. They're not stupid. They're not. You know, there's always this, oh yeah, you're racist. Oh, fucking Nazis. Oh, they're dicks. They're stupid. They say stupid shit. But like, these guys are regimented, like properly, and they are smart. They know the rules. They know how to bend them to the effect where they're going to get away with shit, and that's how they manage to, you know, run this successful little drug empire that they've got going on.
Well, I suppose that's that's just history repeating itself, isn't it? In a way, when you have one person that is, you know, a dictator, i.e. Patrick Stewart, who is the brains, and then you have a collection of stupid people, where he has, you know, played on a hatred of something to make them do what he wants them to do, to make him money. And there's only like a couple of intelligent people that you see later on in the film, and you go, like, there's a kind of right-hand man. I don't know his name, but I quite like him. He's a good actor as well.
Gabe, the guy, yeah.
Yeah, and you kind of can see the cogs turning throughout the whole thing. He's like, he's gotten himself in this weird position, but he kind of knows it's not quite right, and something's, you know, it's not like the other kind of drones that just seem to follow anything he says and are there for the cause.
Well, the one thing I would say about that is, though, I don't particularly think that everyone that joins Patrick Stewart's cause is stupid. I just think they're highly manipulatable, if that's a word.
Yeah.
Manipulativable. They can be manipulated. I can't even fucking talk.
Manipulated.
Yeah, manipulated. Manipulated. Fuck, Paul, Jesus. Right. So, yeah, they can be highly manipulated, and this goes for. I don't know if it's even been said yet, but like with Imogen Poots' character, they said, you know, why keep this Nazi away from me or something. And she's like, I'm not a fucking Nazi. It's like, how did you end up with all these dicks? And she's like, well, it was better being here than being beaten in the place I was before. So you can imagine he's like fucking Fagin. He's taking in all the kind of, you know, the ones who are being mistreated.
All the
he's giving them
rejects.
purpose, but he's also he's just doing it to bend to his will and fucking make money out of it. Here we go. It's actually agreed. Isn't it weird shit like, oh, we'll keep the bullets, but we're giving you the gun? It's like, that's a stupid idea, man.
No, I know. I
Here we
thought, well,
go.
what are they going to do then? Like, just put...
Well, it's a stupid idea because it's not. Is it? Well, I think it's supposed to be so. I like that. Oh, this gun is unregistered, but he's like, careful, the gun is a gift when he throws it. It's weird. Red laces. They're killing us. Keep the gun. Here it goes. Oh man, and they're all at once.
Oh, his fucking arm.
Jesus.
You know what, as well, I really like the idea that, obviously, you know when they're cutting his arm off, because you can't see it, you don't know what's going on. Oh!
Yeah. But, like, oh, man. Okay, this is another Harry... This is a Harry Potter moment, because this reminds me of when Harry had no bones in his hand, only much worse.
Yeah, yes, Paul, it is much worse.
Look at that. It's just
it's so disgusting. It's so grim. It's so well done. It makes my legs go funny.
But look, everything at once. The guy's broken arm, the chopped hand. And then, this will all be over soon, gentlemen. It's basically like, I'm about to kill you. Oh, it's such a, you know. Here he comes.
Such a badass as well.
Here we go, that another bad. I fucking crush you. Just clotheslines her to the floor. Oh! He's basically a wrestler. But again, he gets fucked. Like, again, it's the same move.
I mean, he needs to learn from his mistakes, really, doesn't he? Well, he can't now.
I think if Jeremy Saltner is a wrestling fan, he always liked the kind of acrobatic dude over the Andre the Giant type. Because just twice he got him in the chokehold.
This is the next bit that I really don't like.
Yeah,
and it really...
doesn't make any sense. This
yeah,
bit.
but if you ever cut anyone in the stomach with a Stanley knife,
That's what would happen.
Do you know what would happen?
No. But it's almost like he's cutting open like a packet of bacon or something. It's
it
ridiculous.
is.
It's that easy. But also like this whole thing about putting him in the chokehold to put him to sleep. I was reading it only takes like 7 seconds to knock someone out doing that, and if you keep that chokehold on for like more than 20 seconds, you're going to incur brain damage in like a minute, and they're dead. That's it. They're done.
Fucking hell.
But this film hasn't even got a minute to wait around with this shit. She's just gonna. This is how you know though. Like Imogen Poots' character is just such a fucking badass. She's decided that's it.
Well, I think she's
commando
damaged,
already.
isn't she? She's damaged.
Oh yeah, because she comes
coming
from
from
a
such
beaten
a
up family.
Yeah, so it's like, but she's the only one that's from that to that degree. And then also you've got to remember that she's been introduced. If she's the one that's like doing all the drug dealing and all that sort of shit for the Nazis, she's probably seen.
No, she's not a drug dealer. She doesn't know about it. She's surprised by it when they find the secret room.
I thought she was the one that was like, no, not the drug thing, but like as in, you know, earlier when the band are playing.
Yeah.
Oh,
is that drugs? I thought that was money.
Oh, I thought it was like a brown envelope thing, like a little brown thing, which I thought was drugs.
Oh no, actually, it's not even that. It's the note. It's the note they passed because they pulled it out of her shirt. So what does this mean? It's the song that they were going to leave on. Here you go. This is where he finds out.
Oh shit, that's what it was.
Yeah, they were going to leave on a certain song. Yeah, so he's like, let's just get in there because he knows. Here we go. We're not coming apart. Is what we're doing. He's so calculated.
Yeah, and he knows already as well about him. He's so like.
Oh no, he doesn't. He doesn't.
You.
He's going to clock it in a minute. He doesn't clock it yet.
I think
but
he
he's going to clock it in
suspects
about 5
something
minutes.
though. I think he
Yes,
suspects
he
something that he's acting very weird because obviously this is what he wants all the time, and now he's like freaking out.
Yeah, he turns to Gabe soon and he says, "Why didn't you want Matthew working on the door?" That's it. So he does suspect something. Is this a horror trope where there's a place that looks like daylight but it's not daylight? I've seen that in movies before. I remember The Descent did that. Where, oh look, it's daylight, but it's not. It's just a reflection or something. In this case, it's a horrible
drug den.
badass drug den. Yeah.
Well, you know, who doesn't love a drug den?
I mean, it's like a miniature version of the fucking chicken shop basement, isn't it? It's.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I don't know what you were talking about then. I thought you meant like the chicken shop was in the Channel 4 documentary.
No.
I was like, sorry. Did that happen? We were just filming Chicken Shop and there was a drug den underneath the chicken shop. Who knew?
Channel 4 striking gold. Oh dear.
What is that top? What's that thing? That thing on her top as well. I always want to see it. It reminds me of braces.
Oh, that is an album cover. I'm really sure. I can't.
This is what I was thinking, but I didn't know what it was from, and I just wondered whether it had any significance. Because obviously, you know, if you're getting,
what's her name? Let's try. Let's do a little bit of. Let's do a little bit of IMDb stuff because she's obviously. Her name's Sam. There we go.
What, her actual name is Sam?
No, her name in this is Sam.
Oh,
she's
good name.
Alia Shawkat, who was she's most famous for playing maybe in Arrested Development. That's where. That's what she's from.
Shit, yeah.
Yes.
I didn't even realise that.
Yeah. What is on Sam's t-shirt?
Oh, there's their little connection. Look. And she's like, "You're not too bad now. I like you."
Oh, they have a moment.
Yeah, but it's true though, isn't it? Because it's like then you see them. It's their first connection, because like in looking at it from an outside perspective, when you first watch the film, you don't know Imogen Poots' character at all. She's just a random girl, but you've had a chance to kind of get to know some of the characters a little bit, especially the main character. What was he called?
Pat.
The main guy, Pat. So you kind of get to know him, and I think that connection is really, really important, because that's when you start to realise that her character is actually quite important. Because at first I thought she was probably going to die. She was probably going to be the first one to die until that moment with the cigarette.
Yeah, she's a survivor. Yeah, because she's kind of all over the place until that moment, isn't she? Oh, I hate it when these pop-ups come up. Okay, so there's an article. Your guide to every single punk band mentioned in Gory Thriller Green Room. I don't know if this is gonna.
Oh, it's the duct tape bit.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, you gotta love duct tape though. Will solve any situation.
Was it you that got made a wallet out of duct tape?
I did. Yeah, when I was working at a music marketing place, and we had an intern who was kind of a pretty scraggly looking guy. I'd say he was a hipster before his time. Actually, this was like 2003, and he had a big beard and. He maybe had dreadlocks. He just looked a bit kind of like he needed a bath, but like he made loads of things out of duct tape. He made a whole man bag out of duct tape that he was carrying around, and he made us all little purses and wallets. It's kind of cool. Bless him.
I mean, he's quite impressive.
Yeah. Oh, I can't find out whose t-shirt this is. Writes mentioned Minor Threat as an influence, and Pat even sports a Minor Threat t-shirt. No, I can't.
So what's Minor Threat then?
That's a band, but
I've never heard of them.
That's not her t-shirt. That's his. This is where he gives his pep talk. He gives his whole kind of parable about you got to treat it like it's a
game,
like it's paintball, because that's the only way to get. You got to treat it like a game, and then like. He just gets cut off halfway through. He's the quiet member.
I love it how he's like completely delusional. Everyone just goes, "Yeah, okay, we'll do what you say." Guy that's lost loads of blood and is now delusional and probably will die.
They kind of have the patience to listen to it for a while. Like, okay, is this story going anywhere, or is it just a rambling fucking thing because he's just had his arm practically chopped off? God damn it! I want to find out what that is. Her t-shirt.
Because I just feel like it might be significant because it's quite bold.
I don't think it's overly significant. It's just kind of they're all steeped in punk rock. Oh yeah, he's wearing a Minor Threat t-shirt. There it is.
Yeah.
I will find out what that bloody thing is. Stop. Okay, we're going to pause it there. We're going to pause it at 52 minutes 01 seconds. It's a cliffhanger. It's the moment before the band leave the green room for the first time since they entered the green room and got stuck in this oh so fucked up predicament. Will they make it? That's the cliffhanger. Although the bigger cliffhanger is, will I ever work out what the fuck is on Sam's t-shirt. I don't mean Sam, who I've been doing the commentary with. I mean Sam, the character in the movie, played by the lady who played Maybe in Arrested Development. Wasn't that a smooth fucking reference? All right, so we'll leave it there. If you'd like to email us, you can do that at info@isawthewebcast.com. Or you can follow us on all of our social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and they all share the same handle. It's I Saw the Webcast. I don't even know if handle is a word that people fucking use anymore. But that's what it is. That's what our profile is. So, yes, please send us your questions. Tell us what you thought of Green Room. Tell us if there's anything we should really pick up in terms of stuff we may have missed. Yeah, that's cool. I'm going to cut that bit out. All right. See you next week. Bye-bye for now.